Hi,
How you
Gary.
doing? Hi, Ryan. All right. Nice to see you again.
Nice to see you too. It's been a while.
It's been a while. It looks like
Are,
you've been busy with J.A.Zaman tour.
are you missing Pakistan?
Do you know what? Pakistan was a great time of my life. It was a great visit. So chilled out and relaxed. I am missing it. I can't wait to come back again.
I would like to hear all about your trip. So, if you could just start off with that.
We're inspired by Tahid Ahmed, one of my friends who I started to coach just coming out of lockdown, who got into golf,
Yeah.
then went to visit his friends in Pakistan to play golf, and I just couldn't believe that people play golf in Pakistan. Um, and that's where it started. Obviously he sent me some pictures on WhatsApp, playing golf, and I was like, wow, these courses are unbelievable. Like, why don't we know about this kind of thing?
I remember when you came over here, you said, you didn't think there was any golf course in Pakistan. But then I think you played like what, seven, eight courses?
Yeah, I think we played about 10 rounds of golf across Islamabad. Then we went to Multan and Lahore.
Yeah.
But I mean, my perception of golf before coming to Pakistan, I knew there was some golf courses there that had been left. Obviously built by like British Army. Correct me if I'm wrong.
Yeah, you're
Um,
right. You're right on that.
and I just assumed that there'd be like kind of overgrown parks where the odd person might still play it. They don't get maintained very well. There's no sort of club side of things. It's just a piece of grass with a few flags in and tees. Honestly, that's all I know as somebody who's a British golf pro. And I thought, when I saw these massive clubhouses, big built driving ranges, and people like the membership side of the club, how many people like are keen and really like golf. I thought I've got to share this. And that
Yeah,
was the
we as Pakistanis, we really appreciate you coming to Pakistan and showcasing the game, our game internationally. We'll come to the golf courses part in a little bit. I want to know what were your first impressions when you got to Pakistan.
Well, wow, that's a great question. I mean, obviously, somebody who's a foreigner to the country landing in Pakistan for the first ever time, I felt a little bit nervous, to be fair. At airport, I didn't see many British tourists or, many British expats. So I felt I'm going to be honest, I felt a little bit like, well, on my own a little bit and a bit scared at first until obviously he turned up to pick me up from airport, and then drive into his residence, which were about maybe 40 minutes away.
Yeah.
I felt like it's difficult to explain, but like there were no consistency in kind of like wealth, between like seeing some really big nice cars,
Mhm.
seeing some like really small cars, and then the houses, like seeing big houses, seeing tented villages. So it were all like a new culture to me, and like just wow, I just never experienced anything like it.
Yeah. How did that impression change during your trip?
I think it took me a couple of days to get comfortable living in that culture of, being so like I obviously was well looked after and stayed in really nice places, but being in a culture where you're not too far away from poverty,
Mm.
uh, it took some getting used to. But by the end of the trip, I got very comfortable within the culture, and too relaxed, really. I started to enjoy it too much. You,
You
you come
started
back
you
to
started to get the flavor of the Pakistani hospitality.
you come back to England and you don't, life's a little bit tougher here. It's not, you have to do a lot of things for yourself. You've not got as much support and that kind of thing in terms of having people drive you, have people get your bags, make your breakfast, that kind of thing. So it was a culture I could have got quite used to, actually.
I think one of the biggest cultural shocks that you got was the driving over here. You highlighted that in your video as well.
Oh, definitely, yeah. I mean, it's crazy. I mean, it's just you've got to be quite aggressive with your driving if you want to get anywhere.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
if you're not going to get very far, are you?
yeah. You're not gonna get. It's gonna take you a long time to get from point A to point B.
The funny thing were is actually I found myself a little bit more of an aggressive driver.
Yeah, it takes a little bit of time to get out of the system, you know. When we talk about your trip, can you detail your trip, please? That when you arrived in Islamabad, I believe.
Yeah, so we arrived in Islamabad. The intention was to try to sort of share a little bit of golf in Islamabad, where Tahid's located.
Yeah.
Uh, so we played three golf courses there. Um, and at this stage, like I didn't really know much about golf and the background of golf, so it were kind of just I would just chuck straight into it with no preempt. No, Tahid never really explained too much about things. But the intention were is to play golf. So I played at Pines Golf Club, and it started to become apparent that a lot of these golf courses were built to try to build a community around the course,
Hmm.
uh, which I thought were quite a good idea, to try and obviously raise the profile of the houses and the estate, and obviously the area they built the golf courses. Um, so we played there. That were a great course. Obviously, there's still a lot of work to be done there in terms of like infrastructure and building. There's some exciting things happening there. We played. Is it Palm Golf Club? No, not
Garden City, I believe.
Garden City. That's right. Sorry, Garden City Golf Club. I mean, wow, the hosting, like you said, was incredible from all the golf clubs. Because I know there's probably going to be a question at some stage which ones they enjoyed the most. But all the golf, welcomed me so much.
Yeah, that's going to be my question at the end of this.
I knew that might creep up somewhere. And then we played as Islamabad Club, which I've never ever seen a club like that in the world, where there's everything under one roof. It
Yeah.
were incredible, unbelievable. And I think that's definitely a model that we should try to, do in UK. Um, so
And Islamabad
um,
Club is one of the most prestigious clubs in all of Pakistan and one of the oldest as well.
It was very prestigious, but it was probably the most comfortable place that I've ever been in terms of, I thought that would have been a bit more elite and posh and like, I'd have felt a bit nervous, like, because maybe people might have been thinking, oh, he's not wearing a collared shirt or he's got his golf shoes on. I felt a bit, but it was so much more relaxed than most of the other clubs actually.
Right.
Um, I think I felt more comfortable there and just chilled out. Um, well, not more than it, not that the other places made me feel uncomfortable, of course, but like it surprised me on how relaxed I felt for such a posh, obviously, club.
And then from Islamabad, you went to Multan.
Yeah, I mean, just before we move on to Islamabad, like obviously that's where Tahid lives. So I experienced a little bit of going into the city as well,
Okay.
eating, obviously in really, I wouldn't call them tourist places, Well, there's not, I wouldn't say I saw any sort of tourists as such, but I kind of lived in Islamabad for maybe 4 or 5 days as a local.
Right.
So that was really good because I can only describe it as being like an adventure because I feel like not many people get to do what I did, living it
Mhm.
like a local and you know being so behind the scenes, with everything.
Yeah.
It's not like when you go on holiday to a country and you just see that you go to the tourist areas. I proper lived, the proper culture and went to people's houses, some of Tahid's friends' houses, and yeah, did all sorts of things.
I'm sure
It
you
were
must
great.
have experienced some highs and lows as well during your trip. We'll come to that point. But just going through the natural progression of your trip from Islamabad, you spent 4 to 5 days over there, and then you went on to you stopped at Toba Texing actually in
We
between.
stopped at Tobertyke City. That was crazy. That was absolutely crazy. From when I arrived, I mean, let's be honest, like we always are on this channel. I was very scared going into that small village
Yeah, I was
because
scared as well.
I was scared. I mean, I saw like guys on motorcycles, and I'm sure that's just kind of like they weren't out to do any harm anyone. It was just security, but because they're not kind of dressed in security uniform, and I'm not a local, it was like, who's that person? You know, what's he doing? But he was just obviously security and you know, or some sort of like worked for local police force.
When
But
you
it's
told me that you're before coming to Multan, because we went to Multan and we went to Romanza together. When you told
yeah.
me that you're stopping at Toba texting, I was like, is he serious? Like, I mean,
Yeah.
is that a joke? I mean, I've never been to Toba texting, to be honest, in my entire life.
But we stopped at a few service stations and stuff on way, and obviously people are quite curious because I'm white, and you know, obviously, you know, like what's this guy doing here, you know? So
Yeah.
it was interesting, but you know, in the entire trip, I never once felt uncomfortable in terms of like no one ever made an horrible remark towards me or made me feel uncomfortable. It was actually the opposite. Um, it was as though like it were more like that, you know, like an honor to have me there.
Mhm.
And I felt like that so strongly from landing at the airport. I felt more privileged being, you know, obviously from England than probably the local people there. I was treated more of a, I don't know, I just felt so well treated and, you know, looked after. It was crazy.
Coming back to the golf, then you visited the best golf course in Pakistan.
Honestly, not only the best golf course in Pakistan, people won't believe this unless they go and play it, but one of the best courses, well, there's only one course in the world that's topped it for me, and that's St Andrews in terms
Wow.
of how it made me feel. Obviously, St Andrews is we'll talk about that some other stage, but Romanza were the most enjoyable and best golf course I've ever played in the world, seriously. And until this trip, I'd never even heard of it. And I'm sure probably 99% of people watching this video never would have never heard of it either, which is crazy.
Yeah.
Uh,
It was a great, it's a great golf course.
that golf course will be going a long way in future, I think,
Yeah.
100%. It will.
So we got there at Romanza, and we played during the day, and we played some night golf as well.
Yeah, we played night golf as well. I mean, obviously, I think that's a great facility to have in the climates you have, you know, to be able to play an evening when it's a bit cooler and, you know, be able to play 12 months a year. That's something that we don't have in the UK, you know. We have
Yeah.
long winters, don't get to play golf. So I think that's kind of great forward thinking. You know, I think when golf grows in the future, it's just going to give that accessibility to everyone to play all year round, which is fantastic.
Yeah, and
And
you stayed for another day just to play another round at Romanza.
seriously, we had a plan to leave. We were only going to be there for one day. The course was that good. The next day we thought we're going to stay another day. We'll have one less day in Lahore. Honestly, it was unbelievable. But that just in terms of the night golf, just to finish as well, is I play night golf in Dubai, and this was seriously better than Dubai. I thought they were lot better lit, the holes, and a lot more, yeah, a lot better. So if anyone were thinking of traveling from Pakistan to play, you know, golf in Dubai, go to Ramanza.
And it's
It's
cheaper as well. I mean, for the price, I mean, I think it's great value for money.
people would not believe it. I think, you know, like people traveling from UK or abroad in future, if they were to visit Pakistan and play Ramanza, they would just keep going back every year because they wouldn't believe the value. It's
Yeah.
incredible.
Yeah, I mean, if I'm not wrong, I may be wrong on this. I don't know what the revised rates are, but I think it's about 30 pounds for a round, for 18
We
hole
played
round.
we played 9 holes the next day. Was it? Yeah, we played 9 holes. I think they charged us about £15
So there you go.
with caddies as well. I
Yeah,
mean, come on,
yeah, come on. It doesn't get better than that.
unbelievable.
Yeah.
Uh,
From
that that same level of golf in the UK would cost you 300 British pounds. I
no,
mean,
yeah, that's
unbelievable.
yeah. We need to get a lot of other people, coming from the UK. And I think Romanza is primed to be a tourism destination in
Yeah.
Pakistan. Let's see, hopefully. And then from Romanza, you came to Lahore.
Yeah, Lahore. Lahore's probably the place that I felt most relaxed. And I think if I was, look, let's just throw a random question out there. If I was ever going to move to Pakistan, which I'm not, but if I were, Lahore's a city that I would have liked to have lived in.
Nice.
Um, I mean, there's one golf club, and it's not even going to be in my top three for the best golf club, but it certainly would be the golf club I'd join, and that's Royal Palm,
Right.
because I thought the members and the sense of like the feeling I got, you know, like the club side of things, how close the members were and how much of a family club it were. That's where I would want to be a member.
Right.
Obviously, there were some great courses in Pakistan, but Royal Palm were just incredible for that side of things.
Nice. So the first course you played over there was Gymkhana, my home course.
Jim Connor, yeah, obviously it had a lot of history. The oldest course in Pakistan, it had to be included. And yeah, we had a good laugh, didn't we?
Yeah, we did. We it's a 140-year-old golf course. So, it's ancient, man.
Yeah. I would definitely love to play that golf course again.
Yeah,
It's not easy, it's very difficult and tight.
yeah.
And I was surprised at the scores in J.A.Zaman Tour, actually, how good they were on that course.
They were very good, and I don't know if you saw the video or not, but the winner of the J.A.Zaman tournament, Ahmed Beg, right? He eagle birdie finish,
I
to
watched
end the tournament.
the final probably half a dozen holes, and I couldn't believe how strongly he finished.
Yeah,
Like that's not if he'd have done it if he'd have done it at Romanza, I could have understood.
yeah,
But to do it at Jim Connor, where you don't always get the best bounces or the best lies, is
yeah.
some god.
Well, it was incredible. And then we got a surprise invitation from
Yeah,
Lake
people
City.
might question this, but Lake City, we'll come to the question later, but that's going to be in my top three.
All right.
That might surprise a lot of people, but I think that course is like such a hidden gem.
Oh,
Um,
it's a beautiful course.
it's just so exciting. Like whoever's designed, obviously, I don't know, were they a designer to the course?
I think it's an Australian company who's designed the course.
I just think it's incredible. Like every hole is exciting. There's not a boring hole on the golf course. Like how
Yeah.
many times can you say that when you play golf? Usually there's a few holes that go back and forward, but every hole was like incredible, and the
And then
quality.
I don't know what happened to your putter. I still get nightmares of that day.
Them greens and the course, I could honestly say is the best condition I've ever played.
Yeah.
It were incredible.
So the next day
So
after Lake City, you visited Defense Raya, I believe.
Defence Raya, I mean, that was a good challenging golf course. Again, good condition and facilities were incredible, from arriving.
Yeah. And you
It's
met Sean over there. Very
yeah,
good friend.
Sean's a really nice guy, and obviously, whenever I visit Pakistan or if he visits UK, then we'll definitely be, meeting up to play golf and obviously socially as well. Because there's certain people that obviously you'll never forget. You're one of them, and Sean, and a few other people as well who I definitely look forward to seeing again. And I hope that I think he's in a great position, being the best YouTube or the most subscribed to YouTuber in Pakistan
Yeah.
with the way golf's going in Pakistan. I'm looking forward to seeing how he gets on in the future.
Shan is doing a great job. He's been making great content, and I would really like everybody to visit his channel. He's promoting the game of golf in a great way, and kudos to him. To be honest, I mean, I think he's doing wonderful.
I think he's a great representation for golf in Pakistan as well, because
Yeah.
people might see Sean and think if they don't know what golf's like in Pakistan,
Hmm.
Sean is the representation of like his generation of golfer in Pakistan. I think
Yeah, I
he's like
absolutely agree. Absolutely, 100%. And I think after Raya, you found Raya to be very challenging as well, I believe.
I did struggle on Raya. I felt that the greens were so undulated and tricky. unbelievable. And the pace of them was like lightning, quick. So if
Mm.
you didn't leave the ball in the right place, then obviously you're going to have a tricky putt. So yeah, struggled a little bit that day. Obviously, we played a lot of golf as well, so we're starting to get a little bit sort of towards the end of the trip and tired.
Mm.
Uh, but I suppose that's not an excuse.
And the last one that you saved your best for Lake City. I mean, come on, that was the only one-on-one match that I had with you.
Lake City was just unbelievable. I don't know what happened that day.
I don't know what happened, and I hope it never happens again, never again. At least not
I've
against
never
me.
I've never old. I mean, you only lost on the last hole as well, which were incredible because you played so well. You were one under par
Yeah, and you were
and
three
still
under par.
lost.
It was
Yeah,
amazing. It was one of my best memories ever over there. Coming back to the thing, the last course was one of your favorite, was Royal Palm.
it wasn't the hosting because I mean the hosting was incredible, but even without the hosting, it was how much the members sent to like be gelled together as a unit of people.
Mm.
Like I can't explain it in that because I was just somebody that was part of the day, and you observe everything that's going on around you. And I just thought, wow, like what a great members golf club.
Mm.
Everybody asking how each other's families are. We had dinner afterwards, and the banter and the laughs. It was just incredible. Um, and the courses, obviously, I enjoyed the course as well. I felt it was a good layout, a golf course. It probably weren't the condition of Lake City or Raya or Romanza, but it was a great golf course, like it was still very good.
Yeah,
Um, and for me to say that that'd be the one I'd join, I think, obviously speaks volumes about the full package of the golf and the membership side of things. That'd be the one that I'd like to join.
yeah. So you played 8 golf courses in total in Pakistan.
Yeah, probably played 8, but obviously played Romanza twice.
Yeah,
I suppose 9, yeah.
yeah. So the golden question, give me your top three.
Top 3 has to be Romanza. It
That's the
has
number
to
one.
be. Because I think internationally, if Pakistan is going to ever sort of like start to host international trips and things like that, there's plenty of space to have a big resort there where people
Mm.
can sort of, I think in terms of international golf, I think the start of it would be to have like a golf complex where you go for a week. Like, have you ever been to Turkey or places like that?
Yeah, I have actually.
Where international people feel safe that they're gonna it's all under kind of one roof, a bit like Islamabad Club or Raya, where you stay on site and you play unlimited golf for a week. I
Yeah.
feel like that's got the potential to host, internationals, but major events as well, and so well manicured. But the practice facilities and the land that they've got
Mm.
is just set up perfectly for major tournaments. So it has to be the number one.
Right. And then after that,
Uh, After that, I would have to say Raya
right.
because again, it's probably not set up for international tournaments because it probably ain't got the space, for like grandstands and things like that. But in terms of the quality and the club, it was the best full package and the best test of golf as well. Uh, yeah, I think definitely Raya being the second.
All right. And lastly, to top it off,
Well, I think the last one would be Lake City. Obviously, it might never ever be like public as such,
yeah.
but if you're judging it just based on the quality of the golf course, I mean, the actual condition of the golf course and the layout of the golf course, it really does challenge Raya and for being like such a good course. Obviously, the club facilities are a little bit more exclusive and smaller for a smaller membership of people. But if we're just talking about golf course, then it has to be the third best I played.
Next year when you're going to be coming, hopefully all 18 holes of Lake City are going to be open. and
I'd,
hopefully we'll get another invite. Fingers
I'd love,
crossed.
I'd love to play it again. I really would.
Yeah.
It were a real honor.
So Gary, w- overall in your trip, um, simple question: what were the highs and lows that you experienced? Because I'm sure there must
Um,
be some lows.
There were, I think the biggest low was when me and Teed were going for a meal at his one of his family friends, and we stopped off at a shop to basically pick up some sweets for the kids, some chocolates. I'm told that is that kind of thing that you do.
Yeah, we do that. Some
So
sweets.
we got some sweets and chocolates for the kids, and obviously there was their house was incredible. It was like some sort of like massive mansion. But
Hmm.
we stopped off and on way. We had quite a few people begging, and children and stuff like that, really young children. And it just that touched me a lot. That there's so much poverty in Pakistan amongst the wealth. How closely you're never far from poverty.
Hmm.
Uh, and there's not a lot we can do about it. That's the problem. So I suppose that was my low, is that you kind of always want to help, but there's only so much you can do, isn't there?
That's a fact, and we unfortunately it is there. At the end of the day, it is a third world country, and this it definitely does exist. And what about the high that you've been telling your mates about?
I think the high was definitely like Romanza, because I could have never dreamt of a golf course and a facility like that in Pakistan.
Yeah,
And that's because it's never been projected, on any Sky Sports or any TV program. So what am I supposed to expect? I feel guilty saying that when there's probably Pakistani audience there, like thinking, "Why would you think we wouldn't have a golf course?" But if you've never seen it, how would you know? So to experience that and to be the first YouTube channel to share that,
yeah.
I thought was amazing. I think it's going to have a big future. So it was a high to find such a gem and something that I think's, yeah, amazing.
Perfect.
And
Which leads me to my very next question.
yeah, that was
Actually, I just realized that we have a limited time of recording, so we have like 6 minutes left of recording. So
right.
leads me to my very next and my second last question actually, which would be how do we go international? How do we project Pakistan from here?
I think definitely being able to sell a package holiday to somebody to come and play golf for a week,
Hmm.
and for somebody like myself who's visited Pakistan, I think that would have to be in the form of like a golf resort. So, maybe if we used Romanza for an example, where they had a hotel within the complex. So obviously a gated complex with a hotel, maybe a swimming pool, and restaurant.
Yeah,
And make it a full facility where you can go for a week. And obviously, if you want to leave and go on trips, guided trips and things like that, then you do that.
yeah.
But
So
I feel as though, like, you know, unless local people, it's difficult to maybe go and do a holiday in Pakistan as just tourists
hmm,
without it being um, like a set week, within a complex.
I think that's going to be established in due time. It's going to take time, but we're working towards that. But eventually, that's the end goal. We should be able to get there. You experienced Pakistan golf, so how did you? Where do you think Pakistan golf is heading? We're specifically talking about golf now.
I think that from what I've seen in Pakistan, that golf's quite an attractive sport. Kind of working person. It's seen as like kind of a cool sport to do,
Mm.
and I think people realise for health and fitness reasons that it's um, it's essential to keep playing some sort of sport later on in life. And I think the facilities that you've got in Pakistan make golf so like relaxing and pleasurable, and yeah, there's such a great place to spend your time. So I see it growing a lot within Pakistan. And I see Pakistan needing to probably build more golf courses and facilities to facilitate the demand for golf in future. I
Hmm.
think there's already too much demand for the amount of facilities that you've got, which I think when people start to realize how much of a business there is in golf, then it can only grow. So I foresee golf in Pakistan growing incredibly quicker than probably that can be kept up with in a way, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, yeah,
The
absolutely.
demand to play golf is going to grow growing quicker than the courses can be built and the facilities can be, you know, got ready to use. So,
Which leads me to my last question now. When are you coming back to Pakistan?
well, I think I have to try and make this an annual trip now because for somebody like myself, being able to come and play golf for 2, 3 weeks and spend so little money to do that is such an attractive, opportunity. And the courses are incredible. The people are incredible and welcoming. All that you manage. I would love to, or the J.A.Zaman Memorial. I would love to bring some friends to come and play that, and just for some fun and relax. So I'm definitely going to be coming back next year at least.
Consider this as a formal invitation. You and your mates are properly invited for the next J.A.Zaman Memorial, which is going to be held in April 2025. So, you better get packing for that trip.
I'm going to need to put that date in my diary then, aren't I? And is it a little bit warmer in April
It is going to be warmer in April. Yeah, it is going to be warmer.
and, and greener?
And greener, absolutely. Because there was a
Well,
lot of comments, a lot of people said that in the comments that, why aren't the golf courses green? Dude, it's winters. It's like complete, you're in the peak of winters right now.
yeah. No, I think we'll be able to project that next time when we come and show the courses in obviously summer conditions,
Yeah,
which will be good. But no, in terms of the invitation, I'm looking forward to accepting that invitation and bringing some friends. So if you've got a formal or official date, then I can get some plans
we're
together.
we're
That'd be
gonna be
great.
we're gonna be finalizing our date probably in July, July, August.
Yeah,
So I'll be able to give you an exact date at that time.
that would be fantastic. I'd love to do that. And obviously, then, share it with some of my friends. And I think that'll be the start of, well, yeah, building up some international trips.
Yeah, it's gonna be England versus Pakistan, but not in cricket, but in golf.
Definitely, yeah. That's going to be
Gary,
fun. That'll be,
thanks. It was a pleasure talking to you again. Good seeing you again after a while.
yeah, no, thank you. I've appreciated, obviously the hospitality you showed, whilst we were there, taking us around Lahore. And yeah, an absolute pleasure. And I can't wait to obviously see golf grow within Pakistan in future and hopefully be a little bit of a part of that as well. So yeah,
Perfect.
thanks, Ayan.
Thank you so much, and best of luck with your, YouTube channel as well, and your new irons, by the way.
Yeah, thank you. I appreciate that. Yeah, thank you.
All right. Take care. Bye bye.
Cheers, Ayan. Bye.
Cheers. Bye. Bye.